Albert Einstein once said something that shook the scientific world. Energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. It only changes from one form to another. At first, this may sound like just another scientific statement. But for two great inventors, Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, it became much more than that. This single thought planted the seed of one of the strangest experiments in human history. What if energy never dies? Then what happens to the energy of a human being after death? If our body produces electricity while we are alive, then that energy must go somewhere after we die. Could it remain around us in some invisible form? And if yes, could we somehow detect it, record it, or even talk to it? This bizarre question inspired Tesla and Edison to try to create machines that could communicate with the souls of the dead. A soul radio or ghost phone, a device that could bridge the world of the living and the world of the dead. It sounds like science fiction today, but back then, these two geniuses took it very seriously. Nikola Tesla was not just an inventor. He was a visionary who saw the world in terms of energy, vibrations, and frequencies. He believed that everything in a universe vibrates, and if you understand those vibrations, you can understand the universe itself. Tesla knew that the human body generates electricity. Every heartbeat, every thought in the brain, every nerve signal, all of these produce electrical energy. And where there is electricity, there is always an electromagnetic field. Now here comes Tesla's unique genius. Most scientists of his time saw electromagnetic waves only as tools for radio, light, or electricity. But Tesla thought differently. He believed that if electromagnetic waves exist, then they can be captured, transformed, and converted into something else, like sound. This meant that hidden all around us, there could be signals, vibrations, and voices waiting to be heard. And if that was true, then maybe even the energy of a soul could be detected after death. But why was Einstein's statement so important here? Because Einstein gave a kind of scientific license to think in this direction. He had firmly declared, energy cannot be destroyed. So if a living person's energy does not vanish at the time of death, then what happens to it? Surely, it must change form. Tesla took this very seriously. He believed that the soul itself might be nothing more than a form of electromagnetic energy. And if it was energy, then it could not die. Instead, it would simply leave the body and remain in the environment as invisible waves. If this was true, then a device could be built to detect and listen to those waves. Just like a radio tunes into a station, one could tune into the soul. This is where science and spirituality touched each other. Einstein gave the theoretical base, and Tesla dared to take it into the world of experiments. Out of this strange mix of ideas, Tesla began working on a new invention, a machine that could capture the energy of the dead and turn it into sound. He called it the soul radio. Some people later gave it another name, the ghost radio. At the same time, Thomas Edison, Tesla's biggest rival, started working on his own version. His machine came to be known as the ghost phone. This was not just about science anymore. It was about ego, pride, and rivalry. Two of the greatest inventors of all time were in a race to do something no human had ever done, to speak with the dead. The rivalry between Tesla and Edison was legendary. Once, Tesla had worked for Edison in his company. Edison promised Tesla a large sum of money if he could solve a technical problem with Edison's generators. Tesla solved it, but Edison refused to pay. That betrayal created a permanent rift between the two. Later, they fought the famous War of Currents. Edison supported direct current, DC, while Tesla, backed by Westinghouse, supported alternating current, AC. Eventually, Tesla's system won, and AC became the standard for electricity worldwide. Edison never forgave Tesla for this humiliation, and Tesla never forgave Edison for the betrayal. So, when both men heard about the possibility of making a device to contact souls, it turned into another fierce competition. Each wanted to be the first to succeed. Each wanted to prove the other wrong. Edison took a very unusual approach. He gathered not only scientists, but also mediums, spiritualists, and people who claimed they could summon spirits. They created a dark room. Lights were turned off, candles were lit, and strange patterns were drawn on the floor. Rituals began. Spiritualists chanted and declared that souls had arrived. Meanwhile, Edison's machine stood ready. It was designed to capture any unusual electromagnetic disturbance and convert it into signals. The moment came. The spiritualist said, "The souls are here." But Edison's device recorded nothing. No signal, no wave, nothing unusual at all. It was a complete failure. Edison thanked everyone, but deep inside, he was disappointed. Still, he did not give up. He continued to refine his machine, and later even claimed in interviews that he had perfected his ghost phone. But then something strange happened. Before Edison could present his ghost phone to the world, he died. After his death, people searched through his papers, notebooks, and secret files. They expected to find diagrams or notes about the ghost phone. But there was nothing, not a single line about it. Only his public statements and the testimony of people who had seen his failed experiment survived. This created a great mystery. Did Edison really succeed but keep it secret? Or was it all just a fantasy he never completed? No one knows the truth. The ghost phone remains one of history's unsolved puzzles. While Edison's story ended in mystery, Tesla's story took a different turn. One day, while working on his Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive structure designed for wireless transmission of energy, Tesla connected an antenna. Suddenly, he began to hear strange voices. The shocking thing was that his antenna was not connected to any power source. Yet it picked up sounds, and not just random noises. Tesla said the voices sounded like human voices, as if someone was speaking in another language. This shocked Tesla. Was he listening to signals from faraway radio transmissions? Or was he actually hearing something from another dimension? The mystery of these voices can be explained by something called a crystal radio. A crystal radio does not need any battery or power supply. It works by harvesting tiny amounts of energy from the very electromagnetic waves it is receiving. That is enough to produce faint sounds. Tesla realized that his antenna was working like a crystal radio. It was pulling signals directly from the environment and turning them into sound. But here's the question: what were those signals? Were they just natural radio waves bouncing from the atmosphere? Or were they something beyond normal science? Tesla believed he might have tapped into a hidden layer of reality, one that could possibly include the voices of souls. Tesla eventually filed patents related to these experiments, which means the idea was real enough to be recorded officially. Today, paranormal researchers use similar concepts under the name EVP, electronic voice phenomena. They record sounds using electronic devices, then later amplify them with software. Hidden within the noise, they often find strange whispers, words, or even full sentences. Skeptics say is just the brain misinterpreting random noise. Believers say is proof of life after death. This practice has now evolved into ITC, instrumental transcommunication, where modern devices are used to try to capture voices or images from another dimension. Whether real or not, one thing is certain. The race between Tesla and Edison to contact souls remains one of the most mysterious and fascinating chapters in the history of science. Even today, when people switch on a ghost radio and hear a whisper in the static, they're continuing a journey that began more than 100 years ago, with Einstein's theory, Tesla's vision, and Edison's ambition. And so, the strange tale of Tesla and Edison's race to speak with the dead remains unsolved. Did Tesla truly hear voices from another world? Or was it simply radio waves bouncing through the atmosphere? Did Edison really build his ghost phone? Or was it just another story lost with him in the grave? Even after a century, the mystery still lingers. Some call it science, others call it superstition. But one thing is certain: the line between life and death, energy and spirit, is thinner than we imagine. Perhaps one day, technology will reveal the truth. Until then, all we can do is wonder. When we die, does our energy remain? And if it does, could someone, somewhere, be listening right now? If you enjoyed this mystery of history, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Tesla and Edison were close to contacting the dead? Or was it all just imagination? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more history mysteries, and press the bell so you never miss what comes next. Because